Some familiarity and probably some homecomings and some conversations across enemy lines, right, when they know each other so very well. But both teams kind of grinding for wins right now. And once that puck's drop, I mean, that's all. It'll be down to the teams in the game.
In the pre-scout, anything you picked up on the Calgary Flames just from watching them so far?
Well, I get to see a whole lot of them in the past. So they're a real structured game, and they play a good team game, and they play hard, and they kind of went through what we went through. They lost an important defenseman there, and I think it affected them a little while, and they get him back, and they put up 40 on a real good team last night. Didn't get the result they want, kind of similar to us, so they'll be looking hungry for 2 points.
Is there an update on how Barkov's feeling?
Better today, so we're optimistic for tomorrow.
Are you guys thinking of calling somebody up?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how he feels this afternoon, but he had a pretty strong uptick there this morning, so he had a good night.
Sam Bennett and Colin White were both not out there either. Is there any update on those two?
They're both expected to play tomorrow. I mean, that whole thing took 19 minutes, so if there was anything that we thought we could make a man better by not having him on the ice, we just kept him off.
Any reason for the shorter practice today?
Going into back-to-back, coming off. That would be it. And no, it's 4 o'clock till tomorrow, so they don't need 35. We had 9 forward, 60. They don't need an hour long today.
Coach, for
Chucky, we talked a lot about the hands and the skill, but last night a Gordie Howe hat trick. Just how much do you enjoy that? How the physicality complements the skill?
I like the fact, I like the fact that you have different kinds of players on your roster with pure skill guys, great speed guys. And that's what makes Matthew unique, is that he can do all parts of the game. He gets physically wound up and mentally wound up in the games. He make great plays, but he's an intense young man, and that's a nice guy to have in your room.
He drew an instigator too.
Hello.
That may have been a
Say
first.
ties, he's a kinder, gentler man. No,
I mean, the timing of the fight kind of wasn't in your best interest a little bit. You don't want to lose your best guy with 5 minutes left.
prefer not to. We didn't usually in hockey have a time to think a whole lot about what's coming next. Usually it happens.
The trade obviously was huge in the hockey world. Do you think that maybe there were some unfair expectations that both teams were going to just launch out of a cannon, but both are in the wild card mix right now?
No, I can't speak for Calgary and kind of how they played it. We knew there was going to be a big amount of transition for us this year, aside from the trade, with players out and kind of some of the challenges that we have right now with the cap. But ours was and I'm sure for Calgary too, an eye for now. Certainly, we're both real good hockey teams, and you're in a tough battle, but also an eye to the future, right? And it worked out exceptionally well for both teams. It really did. I mean, they've got 2 real strong players in their lineup. We had a 24-year-old who's just coming into his prime that's going to play like that for 10 years. So it worked out well for both teams, and both teams are, playing that team game. So I fully understand why today would be about the individuals. Why wouldn't it? In the trades, there were important parts of each other's teams, but at the end of it, it would be they're all just pieces to that group.
You mentioned the familiarity with you and the Flames going back, but do you see any differences with this group now? And some of you mentioned structure, but anything pop out at you?
How this comes respectful to your answer. Yeah, I wake up every day and probably put 18 hours into figuring out the Florida Panthers, and wouldn't have spent much time watching the Calgary Flames. We'll pre-scout them, but I think Daryl's got it fully under control.
Last night after the game, you mentioned how whoever you seem to put next to E2 just takes off. What is he doing so well that he's become such a good line mate, regardless of who he's out there with?
That man is on the puck, so if it's in our end of the ice and it's on his side of the wall, he's involved in that play, and he wins an awful lot of those battles, so he kills a lot of plays. He's very smart positionally. And then in terms of what the players that he plays with generate, a lot of that comes from him getting the 50-50 puck stopped, or even when they're 60 to 75% in control, he can get that play stopped. He can get it broken up. He's got enough transition speed, like you saw on the goal last night, to get to the far post, and he's got enough strength, and he's just going to keep getting better. This is a guy that he will quietly move into a critical piece for your team, right? And we will, rightfully so, talk about Barkov, and we will watch for Hagee's goals, and there'll be standout players for you that the fans will see, and then there are players that the coaches see. He's one of those guys that is going to become just a critical piece, quiet, critical piece to the game.
Goalie situation, you good playing both this weekend, one in Columbus, one here?
Just hopefully not in the same game.
Right, all for you.
It was kind of ironic. I don't know if I'm using the word correctly, but it's kind of Roberto Rongo's night, right? He played 75 games when you're in a game where all 4 goalies play, like on injury and on getting pulled. And isn't that the strength of that man, that to play 75, you don't get pulled very many and you stay healthy.
But his game was one of the reasons why you have a knee bug, though.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks.
There you go, guys. Okay.
Thank you.